So when I heard that LP of Doc Watson singing, playing Shady Grove in particular on the banjo, it was an old time style he was playing. And old time styles can range from something called clawhammer to frailing to it could even be 2 or 3 finger picking. There's a lot of different styles. In fact, I've heard people say in Appalachia that every holler's got its own kind of banjo picker. You know, you never know what you're going to get. I play in particular, I play all those styles, and they, but they all, I think, from this particular way of playing that really did come from West Africa with the instrument itself. Now, other kinds of lute playing, definitely, you know, people would pick up banjos and apply different kinds of lute playing from different, wherever their home country or culture was. Here on the eastern seaboard of America, they would bring that to it. So if they picked up a banjo, they'd play their own way, which is why all the hollers have their own sound. And the particular style that I really fell into, was drawn to, was the playing called round peak style of playing. I do play 2 and 3 finger picking as well, but round peak style is very particular to a picking pattern of striking down with the fingers and pulling up with the thumb and pulling off with the left hand on the frets. And it creates a pattern of 16th notes that's really a beautiful rolling waterfall-like continuous intense trickle of sound, you know, and with the syncopation of that drone string, you know, that just sort of like pushes it along really, really powerfully. So the sound of the banjo itself also was a huge, is magnetizing for me and for a lot of people. Specifically, that feels more rooted and is in fact more rooted, more of a direct lineage to the West African tradition. So this round peak style of playing, this clawhammer style of playing, frailing, 2 and 3 finger picking, all fall under the umbrella of what we call traditional banjo playing. And in the 1949, there was this revolution. It was the life of immigrants living in Appalachia, living on the plantations, slaves and indentured servitude. Those people were also playing for slave plantation dances and stuff, playing banjo. So all of that was going on. Not all the way until 1949 did the bluegrass sound of the banjo really get solidified, and that was in Earl Scruggs' style of playing, which he brought to Bill Monroe's bluegrass band. And this is a massive moment in bluegrass history and in country music history. And it was really a style of playing that was about show business, and it was about being on the radio and being heard clearly. It was about mixing more of the jazz sensibility of soloing and song form, which was quite a departure from the more old tradition of passing on balladry, which might be one part over and over and over and over again, or 2 parts over and over and over again, or it didn't really matter. It'd just be some long story that was sung over one chord, you know. This was just a refinement for a new sensibility of a more modern contemporary pop music at the time, even, you could say. So yeah, the style I play is really very different from bluegrass music, and it always makes me chuckle a bit when people say I'm a bluegrass musician, because you could not slot me into a bluegrass band and have me survive. So I'm really into that early oral tradition, the early vernacular of storytelling and narrative that that is so central to the folk tradition of the early American folk music of the Appalachian Mountains. Mm-hmm.